Hi everyone, welcome to Unit City. Welcome to Unit City. My name is Valentina and I'm community lead here. And as you understood, the Unit City is not about buildings and offices. Unit City is about ecosystem, cooperation and community. And we offer different services and programs to our residents to help their business grow. And one of these initiatives is Entrepreneur in Residence program. In partnership with meetup, we start this program and we bring international experience experts to Ukraine to connect and to with local startup ecosystem. And the first expert who came to Ukraine 3 weeks ago is Eddy. And during his time, this time in Twin City, he's been providing mentorship sessions and personal consultations with the startups and companies. And now Eddy is here and ready to share his experience in startup exit and the lessons from the case with you. And welcome Eddy, and follow the program, not to miss the second and the third mentors and apply for the second round. And Eddy, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Valentina. Balchikonis. And that's why I just ask people, call me Eddy, please, because Edmundos Balchikonis is not exactly what I like to hear. How are you, people? Yes, good. All right. How many of you have startups and you came here to learn how to sell them? Or maybe let's tell her. Okay, cool. Like half of have startups. How many of these startups have revenue? A bit less. How many are really close to getting revenue? Have product ready? Oh, so all startups have revenue? That's awesome. Well, today, guys. Oh, it's already my first slide. We're here because of this event, probably. I had a startup. I sold it to this company called Envision. Envision is a world's leading design collaboration platform. We were kind of working in a similar field, but not focused on design. With TrackDuck, we were focused on web design and development. So we built a tool with which you could easily get feedback on websites from all your website visitors and your teammates. It will be super easy for them. Click a button, mark in here on the website, they capture screenshots, technical details, and send it to your project management tools. Envision was working in a similar field. They were looking into this, and after 4 years of working on TrackDuck, last year we got acquired by Envision. And that's why I'm here, and I'm gonna share our TrackDuck story, how we started TrackDuck, how we built TrackDuck, promoted TrackDuck, raised the seed round for TrackDuck, and finally some points from the acquisition that I can share with you that are public. So actually all of the stuff that I'm going to be showing, later on will be sharing these slides in the Facebook event, and most of the stuff, actually I think all of the stuff that you will see on these slides you can Google and find online. So it's going to be pretty practical tips and tricks included in the story of the startup. And we need the slides. Okay, we'll just wait a little bit. Just wait a little bit, or should I just continue about slides? No answer. So how's the weather? 1 minute. All right. Oh. Here we go. Right. We started TrackDuck in a hackathon. I am from Lithuania. I went to Minsk, Belarus, and that's where I met my co-founders. We were all working in a similar field. I was working at that moment for a digital agency with customers in the United States. My co-founders were designer and developer, also working in either outsourcing companies or digital agencies, also mostly with customers from abroad, from the United States, Western Europe, and so on. And I personally had this story where in this digital agency, we were developing a platform for customers in the United States to connect students their future possible universities and show their, like, the students would show their scholarships or activities and could get into universities easily. Kind of LinkedIn for students, that makes sense. And the people that were working on this from the United States that were paying for the work were pretty old school. Some design, like most of the designs would get printed out on paper. The owner would draw with a pen on paper his remarks. His assistant would take pictures, would put those pictures in PowerPoint presentation, and would send us to Lithuania to start to fix the bugs or fix the design and so on. And that lasted for over 3 months, like every night. Every night, 7 p.m. for us, 8 a.m. for them. No one likes this time. You know, you're already tired after a whole long day, and then you have to go through that BS, let's just call it BS, and try to understand what the customer was trying to tell you. And my co-founders had a similar experiences working with customers from the United States. So we knew the pain personally, like we lived this pain, and we all had years of experience working in this field. So the idea came to us naturally. We didn't have any epiphanies. We were we were already using similar tools to try to solve this problem. You know, anything from Dropbox to Skype, but it just didn't work the way we wanted it to work. So that we met in a hackathon and started working on it is a sheer accident, but these good accidents happen if you come with experience, preparation, and willingness to do things. So then you're going to be looking for your co-founders. Make sure that you have an idea that connects all of you, and that you don't have, and that you all have skills that contribute to achieving this goal and have direct working experience. That helped us immensely, and later on then we were looking back how basically all the things that we predicted that we would do and we would achieve, like would be selling TrackDuck to digital agencies and these software development departments in bigger companies, and it all happened, and it was kind of strange to us. I had this feeling of like, wow, it just worked. So this is what happens when you have domain knowledge, and then you're thinking about, I'm not going to expand more on this, but then you're picking startup ideas. Look for something that you know, that you feel personally, and that your co-founders have, you and your co-founders have skills to solve. So in our case, it was a designer, developer who became our CTO, and me who was working with digital marketing and project management, and I became the CEO. And yeah, we were one of the winners of the hackathon, and this was the first result. So in the hackathon, we called our prototype Quabbler. Now tell Quabbler to someone, especially even English speaker, and ask him to write it down. Like every time you ask someone new, you're gonna get a different version. So we came up with a shitty name. We had a absolutely shitty prototype that didn't function. It was built on .NET. It was not responsive. It would crash literally every few minutes. I mean, it was the worst thing you could like literally, you know, what can you make in 48 hours that would work across all browsers, devices, and capture screenshots from the user side on their device. The good thing is that no one cares. No one cares. It's only you who's worried about shipping too early. No one knows what you're doing really, and you can only improve and you can only learn by shipping fast and quick and delivering something to the market, getting feedback, learning and improving. So I'm already feeling that I'm just talking and talking and just looking like this at me right now. Guys, let's make this collaborating thing. So if you have questions, just raise your hand, or you have comments, don't shout. I may get angry, but if you have questions, raise your hand, okay? Go ahead.
Eddy, how many people coded in your team?
So our CTO was the coding machine. Through the 48 hours in a hackathon, I think he slept like 3 hours. or something like that. And he was kind of in the beginning carrying it all on his shoulders. Our designer did a little bit of front end, and I tried to help by cooking, bringing Red Bull and coffee. Well, of course, I was working on content, on presentations, on I literally landed the first 3 meetings with digital agencies during the hackathon, during the weekend. It took some calls to make. People usually don't want to pick up random phone calls in the middle of the weekend. But the point is, again, everyone is working on their own tasks. The initial prototype was built by our CTO. After 4 or 5 months, we got some small funding, and then we started hiring developers. And I'm gonna get to that. What I think was really helpful, that we all already had a little bit of experience in startups. We already had our first attempts, and we knew that we need to figure out after a hackathon who will be responsible for what and how much he's gonna be getting back in return. So we came up with our shareholding agreement, even like co-founder agreement, even before we had a company. That really helped us because we discussed multiple details of what happens if someone leaves the company. How do we understand that this is 5-year or longer work project that we're committing, but this is basically like an average marriage nowadays. So this really helped us. And there's tons and tons of resources online to come up with co-founder agreements. Founder Institute, I don't know if you can see it here. You just type in co-founder agreement, Founder Institute, and you can find this online. They have a long, nice blog post explaining different parts, but then there's also multiple other resources. So then once you start getting serious about working on an idea after a hackathon or just meeting your friends, get this agreement done. Get something in paper. Doesn't matter if you're not using any template, just write down something. Write down something. It will help you communicate and then come back and see this decision that you made. And I'm going to be mentioning documentation later on, and you'll understand why it's important. Now, a lot of people straight after finding a team and then having some first prototype, want to start making sales, and for that you need a company, and that's great. And it's great to have it incorporate in Ukraine and be able to legally pay your developers. That's absolutely necessary. But if you're a real startup, and I mean you're working on some real technology and it's a scalable product, it's a scalable meaning that you can literally tomorrow, if everything goes right, you can be selling in all the countries in the world, you need to incorporate in Delaware, United States. That's where your IP should be saved. Your developers, your team can be in Ukraine, that's all fine, but if you're going to be fundraising, if you want to have an exit, it's practically impossible to do that from anywhere else in the world. It's really like the thing that we actually sold a TrackDuck from a Lithuanian company is now that I look at back, it's kind of ridiculous how that actually worked out. And I'm going to tell you about the scheme we came up with. But and then I think that how back in the day, Viewdle, the Ukrainian face recognition startup sold to Google from Ukraine. Those people had to be crazy geniuses to make it work. The legal systems are different. People from the United States have no idea how things work in Ukraine. They're afraid of it. Actually, if you ask the average American, what do they know about Ukraine? Maybe they will know that there is a war going on. That's it. So, do you want to buy? Will you just go ahead and buy a company there? Really highly unlikely. Go ahead.
Yeah, one thing, you mentioned Stripe as an easy way to register a company in Delaware.
Yeah.
But for Ukrainian founders, they just do not work. They do not work with Ukrainian founders. We personally...
I have an answer to that, if you don't mind.
Please.
So Stripe doesn't work with Ukrainian companies, but then The only good thing about Stripe is that they give you a bank account. But there's another service called Clerky that came out of Y Combinator, and you can do it from Ukraine. You can incorporate. The only thing you will need to visit the United States to get a bank account. But you can incorporate from here using Clerky.
But you need to go there to have a bank account, because without bank account you cannot.
Yeah, you can go. It's a one-day.
So the question was, what can you do if Stripe Atlas program doesn't work for you to set up a company? Why Stripe Atlas? Why I'm suggesting Stripe Atlas? If you can do that, is $500 and everything included in the package, and also a bank account. But besides Stripe Atlas, there's tons of services that can help you. Clerky from Y Combinator is another one, but you can also use Rocket Lawyer or all of these other online services that can help you for a few $100 to set up your company in the United States. It's totally doable, and the point is not everyone in the United States, only Delaware. That's a specific state where all investors are, and then startups are setting up their companies, either as LLC or C Corp. That's the most well-known format. Everyone knows how it works, how to create them, how to run them, how to have boards, and so on and so on and so on. So, okay, let's just move on. Yes, that's the only real. Now, from beginning, back up everything. Back up everything. I can't underline this more, having gone through fundraising and exit processes. You need your documents. If you buy something from a freelancer, you need an agreement that this IP belongs to you. You scan the document, because paper disappear. They have this tendency, just like socks. So scan the document, upload it to Google Drive. Don't be a cheap ass, buy the 100 terabyte or whatever gigabyte thing. It only costs $100 a year or something, and back up everything. All your presentations, that's going to be helpful in the future. Your photos also, it's nice to see friends, old pictures, but back up all the documents. Trust me, you'll thank me for this, if not for anything else. If this one thing you can remember, just back up your documents and make sure that you have access to them. Have your support network. That was super useful for us and helped us a lot to go through the hard times, because startups is a roller coaster. One day you land a customer, next day you lose 3, and maybe one of them is threatening to sue you. So this is us just after this hackathon. This is Zhenya, our CTO, and Donna, our designer. 3 of us after winning a pitching competition in Lithuania logging conference, where these guys are from Microsoft. This is from Estonia and from Startup Lithuania in a government agency for entrepreneurship. All of them became our friends and supported us through this journey. But of course, by means support network, make sure to explain your family why you're doing this startup, that you really like this thing. Family support, friend support, and professional network support really helps to grow your business faster, solve problems, and just support you emotionally. Then you think about it, why most startups fail is simply disagreements and inside the team. People break under stress, they start arguing, they fight for no reasons, and that's why 90% of startups fail. You need your support network to get emotional support, to be able to relax with your friends after work, have a beer or go for a jog, whatever works for you, meditate, do that with your friends, and you're just going to be more sustainable startup founder. I need to copyright that. Sustainable startup founder. We went to Accelerator because we won the hackathon. The next day, actually, we were selected for a Startup Sauna warm-up in Minsk, where we were also one of the winners. And in Startup Sauna was very useful for us because we were from different countries. So Startup Sauna brought us together in Helsinki for a month. So it was a very short acceleration program. We literally just gave us a place to live. It was a one-room hotel one bedroom hotel room. So me and my co-founder were sleeping in the double bed together. It was usually me and Anton because he was the smallest one. And Zhenya would sleep on this futon on this little couch next to our basically legs. It was like the room was the size of a stage basically. So very, very cozy for a month, and then working 12 hours a day and then sleeping together really kind of lets you kind of become friends, but also really deeply understand that person. There were a couple moments when it became a bit stressful, when the guys decided to have drinks later at night, and I had a customer meeting in the morning, but they also worked for like 16 hours straight. So that you find out about your co-founders. We got great mentors. We didn't have we didn't have much product building experience. We all mostly worked on websites or pretty simple mobile apps. So getting a lot of product people to come in and help us, or a lot of people that had experience of sales, actually helped us. On the other hand, and this is after finishing Startup Sauna, and we got also our first investment from Startup Sauna. After finishing the program, we got 10,000 euros investment, and they helped us to get 20,000 euros loan from Finnish government. So it was a nice start, and then we could start hiring developers, and that's when we hired two developers, one from Lithuania and one from Belarus. So it was literally basically like 3-4 months after we started working from a project. Then we got the first funding, we invested them straight into getting more help on development, which helped us to rewrite our shitty first prototype from .NET to Node.js. And in half a year, we shipped our kind of like the main product. Almost, well, not even almost, like it has changed so much for the years, but like really, really highly improved, responsive, nice app. So basically, the product as you see, the open beta was built by 2.5 guys, let's say. Yeah, or 3 guys, because the third one joined quite later.